All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating from the world of crypto, the smart Binance Arbitrage bot. Now, I know it sounds super complicated, but the actual idea behind it, it's surprisingly straightforward. So let's just kick things off with the big question, right? Can a robot, a piece of code, actually beat the market and outperform human traders? Well, that's exactly the powerful promise behind these arbitrage bots. You know, to really get why these bots are such a big deal, we first have to talk about the problems, the challenges that come with being a human trader in a market that literally never, ever sleeps. And look, the first huge problem, it's just speed. The crypto market doesn't wait for you to grab your coffee. It moves in milliseconds. Opportunities can pop up and disappear in the time it takes you to blink. And no matter how fast you think you are, you just can't compete with the raw speed of a machine. The second problem is, well, it's a bit more human. We're wired with emotions. That fear of missing out, FOMO, it can make us buy at the absolute worst time. And panic, it can make us sell right at the bottom. A bot, on the other hand, it doesn't feel any of that. It just runs on pure, cold, unbiased logic. It just follows the rules, period. Okay, so we're too slow and we're too emotional. So what's the technological fix? Well, this is where the arbitrage bot steps onto the stage. So the whole strategy these bots use is called arbitrage. And honestly, the concept is super simple. You're just taking advantage of a tiny temporary price difference for the same exact thing in two different places. It's really like finding a rare comic book for $10 at a garage sale and immediately flipping it to a collector online for 15. Same idea. And this is literally the perfect job for a machine. Arbitrage is a game of speed and precision. You have to spot these tiny price gaps and act on them instantly. It's a game a bot can play thousands of times a day without breaking a sweat. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does one of these things actually play the game on a massive exchange like Binance, where you've got hundreds of different assets being traded every single second? The bot is basically stuck in this relentless four-step loop. First, it's scanning hundreds of crypto pairs, nonstop, just monitoring prices. Second, its algorithm spots a tiny little price difference. Third, it executes the buy and sell orders in a flash. And finally, it pockets a small profit. The real magic, though, is that it can do this whole thing over and over, hundreds, maybe even thousands of times an hour. So take a look at this. This breaks down just one single trade. The bot sees it can buy Bitcoin with one stablecoin and at the exact same moment sell it for a slightly higher price using a different stablecoin. Now, the profit on this one trade, it's tiny. We're talking fractions of a cent. But remember, the bot is doing this again and again and again, turning those tiny profits into something pretty significant. But here's the thing. In today's super competitive markets, just being fast isn't always going to cut it. So what exactly is the smart part of a smart Binance arbitrage bot? Well, a truly smart bot is a mix of some really powerful tech. It's using advanced algorithms that don't just react to the market, they try to predict it. Then you've got machine learning, where the bot actually learns from its own wins and losses to get better over time. It also has risk management built right in, like automatically cutting a losing trade to protect your money. And of course, it's always being optimized for speed, because in this game, every single millisecond counts. But let's be real, this isn't some magic money printing machine. While the potential for profit is definitely there, this technology comes with some very real dangers, and it raises some pretty big questions about the future. So yeah, you really have to see this as a double-edged sword. On one side, you've got these incredible advantages. Insane speed, it works 24/7, no emotions, pure efficiency. But then you flip the coin. You've got huge risks. A sudden market crash can wipe out your gains in seconds. A single bug in the code can be catastrophic. And you've always got to worry about security and those little transaction fees eating away at your profits. And this quote right here, it really hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the high-stakes world these bots live in. We're talking about a reality where success and failure are measured in milliseconds and single lines of code. The margin for error is basically zero. And all of this really leaves us with a huge question to chew on. As this technology keeps getting better, faster, and smarter, what does that mean for the role of humans in the financial markets? Is the future of trading completely automated? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.